We were like 7 years old. We were out there with shovels, just building little mounds and riding over them. And that's when the dirt bike showed up, and it was like, got married, and she was like, hey, did you want to go look at Harleys? Flipped an illegal U-turn right there. I knew I was going to buy the bike, like so much so that I bought a fairing before I bought the bike. The puzzle piece. It's like, how do you fit the, hey, I want to go on a ride in with the family life?
Right.
This is like when I started believing like God, it's got my back. Mm-hmm. Okay. This guy pulls up, spins his car. Hi, my name's Mike Cimorelli, and I'm from California, and I've been riding since 1996.
Hey guys, Duke here, and welcome to another episode of Bike and Rider. I'm here with my buddy Mike Cimorelli. We're gonna sit down, talk bikes, where he's been, what he's rode, all sorts of stories, hear his story, and we're glad to have you join us. So let's get into this.
Touche. That's a long time.
A lot of guys started in the dirt, and you can't negate that experience, you know?
Yeah, the dirt was my first love.
Really? Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
My first bike was an 89 XR80, which is like the Toyota Hilux of bikes. It's just indestructible. It's slow.
Yeah.
But man, it could just drive over stuff, and it could keep going. And it didn't use very much gas to go a really long distance, and it never broke down. And so my dad brought it home. It was like a gift from my great uncle. We brought it home, and I don't even think I was supposed to ride it. I figured out how to kickstart it. I was like, oh, cool. And then crashed it into the wall in the basement.
In the basement?
And, yeah, just kind of. And then I remember watching him ride it, like, okay, what are his hands doing and whatnot?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, this can't be much harder than a bike. It's just way heavier.
Yeah.
And I used to ride BMX bikes. That's how I got into dirt bikes, was pretending I had a motor. I would even put the soda can on the rear tire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we had the house that I lived in when I was a kid actually had like a backyard where I had built a track with my friends. So probably like
For the bicycles?
For the bicycles. And I would say like when we were like 7 years old, we were out there with shovels, just building little mounds and riding over them. And that's when the dirt bike showed up, and it was like, and it's interesting. It's like if I could go back and like install software into my dad's head, I would have encouraged more time on the dirt bike. Just like buy me some better gear or something.
Yeah.
And just like start it then, so I didn't have to like sneak around on it when the babysitter's there.
Oh, I see. So it was like a taboo thing. Like they didn't really embrace that.
Yeah, his dad died on a motorcycle.
Oh,
so there was definitely a taboo thing there.
I see.
And I looked just like his dad.
Oh, that's hard.
Without the beard. His dad didn't have a beard, so that's my saving grace.
Yeah. So started riding bicycles. Your uncle, he saw something in you that was like, hey, let's get this kid a dirt bike. I
think so. Yeah. He was probably watching. I mean, when I say track, like we had built, I remember like, I don't know what you were asking for Christmas when you were 7 or 8, but like I wanted a shovel and a wheelbarrow.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was going to build. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, we had those too.
Yeah.
The what did we have? We had the Yomega Fireball. I think it was a beast.
Yeah. Wow.
I think it was a beast, man.
Yes.
And then we had another one that was like I don't know, but it was so fast. Anyway, I loved going fast. Yeah. I remember the bikes we had. I had a Pacifica from Toys R Us, or a Pacific, but this particular one was made by GT. And so it was like a hack way to get a GT for $200 instead of $400. And like back in the 90s, like $200 was like some serious cash.
Yeah.
And this thing was sick, man. And so I took all the Pacific stickers off of it and put my own stickers on it, changed the handlebars. we used to crash a lot. So I would call it credit carding yourself. So I put lizard skins on it.
Oh, smart.
You know, back in the day, the pads for the handlebars and the bar down there in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how the motorcycle journey started, was like, how can I, you know, once you ride a motorcycle, especially, you know, versus a mountain bike, for example, the weight is so much more stable.
Yeah.
And then the freedom of just being able to go much longer, you know, and we
Not
had,
exhausting yourself. Mm-hmm.
well, and you would exhaust like your forearms and your,
not compared
your
to the
legs,
bicycle though.
Not compared to the bike.
Over the range you get out of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the dirt bike, you XR80,
Yep.
you said you figured out how to get it going. Like you said you kickstarted it.
Man, I must have flooded it like 10 times trying to figure out how to do that. But yeah, so it was like sitting in our basement, and there was cans of gas in there and other small motors. And like, I figured out how to start the other small motors. And I was like, the dirt bike can't be that much different. Like all I needed was to figure out where the choke was.
Okay.
And like the choke was like this elusive little thing underneath, right?
Yeah, that's not always like,
it wasn't like right there, like, you know, like on a DeWalt generator, it's like choke right here with big letters. Yeah. Put it this way when it's cold.
It's like hiding out.
It's like trying to yank this thing out from under the seat. But I found the choke.
Cool.
And I was like, okay, and I kicked it and tried to ride it with the choke on. I was like, why is it, you know, it sounded quieter when Dad started. It's because the idle was way up. Mm-hmm. And I went right into the wall. I remember like scratching myself up pretty good too. The floor of the basement was like gravel. So like
that's what I was seeing in my head.
Yeah.
It's like a dirt kind of basement.
It was like, but it was like maybe 5 or 6 inches high of gravel.
Okay.
And if you ever pushed a dirt bike in gravel, like for a little kid.
like soft gravel. It wasn't like
packed.
It
was like digging right in.
Oh,
it was not, you know, like it was like a 300-point turn to get it out of there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. That's some messy stuff for a motorcycle, for a bike.
Yeah, but but I would like ride that thing around and, you know, the backyard and whatnot. And that's how it started. And then my next bike was a lot different. Fast forward to a CRF 250R with like a ported, polished head, high performance, high compression, piston stroked. It was like probably a 290 something.
That's a lot of bike. How old were you at that point?
I don't know. It was like 13 or 14. Man. So I like didn't have a bike between then. I just had the XR80, which my dad ended up selling. So then I was riding the neighbors' bikes, and you know there was the pick of the litter. Really, there was the YZ125, which I crashed quickly, and I just didn't understand the two-stroke, you know, like that power band.
Yeah, it is totally different. I've not owned one, but I've rode a handful of them, and it's a whole different feel and responsiveness.
And you have to. It's like the first time you do it, it scares the crap out of you.
When it comes in,
you're
like, whoa, where did that come from?
And if you just ride like a regular one, that's one thing. Yeah. But once you put there's an FMF Gold Series pipe. And once you put an FMF pipe or something, I mean, back in the day, there was like one main brand. It was like FMF.
Yeah.
And you put one of those big old chambers on it. It was like a chrome pipe. Mm-hmm. And it changes the power band to like a snap. And so I was like, man, I really just don't want to ride that bike. Like, that kind of sucks. It goes from off to on.
Yeah.
I just want some in between. And then I remember riding like I think it's a WX 200. Mm-hmm. And I was like, 200? I don't know. That seems kind of big. And they're like, no, trust me. It's a 4-stroke and it's more of a trail bike.
Yeah.
And I remember riding that, and you just have that torque. You know, you can still go up the hill without kicking it into the power band.
Yeah.
You know, because that's another thing. On the 2-stroke, if you're caught going up a hill and you're not in the power band, like, dude, you're going to stall.
Yeah.
At least that was my mentality when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, this kind of like, you know, I like driving around the track, but the track we had was so small and the neighborhood we had was so big. And it's like, why not like drive through the woods?
Yeah.
You know, that's fun too.
Right.
Yeah, we can go through the woods. And
bicycles go from, or even motorcycles go from the yard to the road. Oh, the woods.
Right.
There's more freedom out there.
Right. Oh yeah, we used to ride on the street too. I felt like a king.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time riding the dirt bike on the street, and I was like, whoa, like I'm just moving.
So did your parents, your dad ever get on board with that? Was he ever more supportive or?
My dad was not. Look, my dad he's a great guy. He's a beast. I was just talking to him on the way here.
Okay.
We're really good friends.
Cool.
But like he lost his dad when he was 11 years old.
That's tough.
And so
it's more than tough.
But yes, Dad, I'm going to throw you under the bus. So you lost your dad. You didn't want me to get on a street bike, and neither did Mom. Mom's dad had a Yamaha like 600 or something, or 750 back in the day. It was probably like one of those cool like CB type cafe bikes.
Okay.
And like he used to ride my mom to swim practice at 6 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
And she used to talk about that with these fond memories. And then my dad, like I'd randomly see, yes, Dad, you, if you're watching this, I would see you like jump on somebody's crotch rocket and just go to town. I'm like,
oh,
what? Yeah. And like he'd come back with a big smile. And I'm like, is there something that I don't know here?
Oh, yeah.
Like his buddy would have like a, back then it was like an early 2000s. I think I saw him ride like a CBR 959 RR or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd just go to town on it real quick. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. That looks really fun.
Yeah.
I was younger then. That's not a bike for a 13-year-old or
no,
a 14-year-old.
not at all. No.
But yeah, so there wasn't really, I guess to answer the question, it wasn't encouraged and it was a little bit taboo. And if it was on the dirt, it was okay.
I see.
So
a little more in the safe zone over there.
Yeah. And I used to ride. So when I was born, we lived in like this little tiny, I would call it like a shack of a house. And then Dad was a carpenter. Then he made some real estate moves and then started his own company. And then he built us this like really cool house. It must have been like close to 3,000 square feet on like an acre, maybe like a little bit more. And that's where we had this whole bike track. So like went from like living in Sacramento in the city to like living in the country. And it was like a small town outside. It was called El Dorado Hills. There was like nothing there except for like a Raley's and a post office and a recycler's.
Well, that's in Northern California?
Northern California. And like a crappy little bar called the Purple Place. And the Snooty Frog. Yeah, that's what was out there. It was like nothing. And anyway, like, so there wasn't a lot of other people around. Like there were just people starting to move over there. That's what I remember at least. Like I could look back and be like, oh, there's 14,000 people. I think there was probably 10 to 14,000 people, but
wow,
still a small town.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And then, so we went from there to like this really nice neighborhood. He had bought this lot on the top of a hill. Now just picture this. It was like a PGA golf course in the neighborhood, a gate with a huge, pillars of Serrano stone. And like, It was really nice.
Very fancy.
And very fancy. And I was riding a 250R on the streets.
Around the neighborhood.
Yeah. Have you seen like the Governor's Club here?
No.
It's like this, the houses are like at least $3 million. It'd be like riding a dirt bike through the Governor's Club.
Yeah.
And I used to do it like every day. And like,
I just imagine that's what the kids in that neighborhood probably do.
I was one of the only ones.
Really?
There was like one other kid that would. But like, you got to think like that 4-stroke, punched out with a real loud pipe. It was just like I'm sure it was just roaring through the hills.
Yeah.
And, sometimes like the security guard would chase me and like,
they had a security guard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. And I would just go,
That's
but back
funny.
then there wasn't like a lot built out. So I could like, if this is a street and then this is a street over here, like he'd be coming after me and I just go up the hill to the other street.
Yeah.
And then I would just make sure that nobody was behind me. And then I would just jet back to the house, shut the garage, change my clothes, go outside in the front and start playing with something.
You were getting practice real early.
I was getting practice real early, man. Yeah. That's how I learned to ride on the street, was like getting chased. I also remember dumping the bike during that. I dumped that thing so many times, as you should on a dirt bike. But I've dumped a dirt bike probably 50 times, like just smack or even just fall over. But that thing held up. I think it still has the same pair of handlebars on it.
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's still
no way.
It's still in existence. I'm bigger now than I was then. I was like 150 or so pounds. And it's the suspension's tuned for 150. And so now I'm like 220. And so I sit on it and like sinks down. But it's a 250 and it's well capable. Yeah. It's just not a 450.
Yeah. When you're bigger and more experienced, if you're riding on the street, 450 is where it's at. If you're still doing the woods, you're still doing track stuff, maybe something smaller.
You know what? And like I said, fully capable. But if I were to, I think the rear shock, all I'd have to do is get a spanner and just crank it up a bunch. Because you set the preload. Mm-hmm. It's a, what is it? It's a Rock Shocks. It's like an old, or Fox maybe. I hope it's a Fox. But it's like an old shock. It's from 05. No, it's Factory Connection. That's who it is.
Probably needs a new spring by now.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
That's crazy though. Oh man. So where'd you go from there? What led you out to street bikes?
I had a friend who let me borrow one. So this is the first time I'd ever ridden on the street. And he was like looking for money. So he's like, yo, you can borrow my bike for a day for $100. And I was like, okay. And so I rented it from him. Yeah. I think I gave him $80. And so this is my first street bike now experience. It was a 03 Gixxer 1000.
Jeez.
And I was wearing like a polo and gym shorts.
Wow.
And I remember I got on that thing and I could just feel the wind. And I was like, holy moly.
Different animal.
It was a completely different animal.
I fear for you at this point.
Oh, yeah. No, I was like in heaven.
Did your parents know about that?
No. Yeah, and I was like living at home, like, obviously, I was like 17 or something. Yeah. When I jumped on this thing, and the funny thing was, I was so excited. I had to do it. I booked it, whatever. I made the exchange. And then I realized, I'm supposed to go to this play with my parents. And my car is over there, and I have the bike. Sorry, Mom. Sort of. This was fun. So I rode the bike to the play and put the helmet in the bushes. And then like just went in like nothing happened. Yeah. And then I like, all right, see you later. And went out to the bush parking lot. Yeah, in the bush. Grabbed the helmet and like went to town. And dude, I drove that thing all over Sacramento and the city. There's this place called Sunrise Boulevard where everybody races. My friend Cameron had a 636 Ninja. And we were just like playing. And like it's not that much different, in your mind than a dirt bike. It's the same kind of shifting. There's just another gear. I think it was a 6-speed and I had a 5-speed on the dirt bike. So, yeah, I remember I raced on it.
I was going to ask you.
Oh, yeah, I raced a bunch of people. I raced a twin-turbo 350Z and beat it, but not by a lot. But it was a legit drag race, right at the light. And I was like, I was so used to drag racing dirt bikes in the dirt. Okay. I was like, I used to, if you ever looked at Hangtown Classic, which is a famous it's an AMA race. Okay. But it's a motocross series up there. And it's probably on the AMA motocross tour. Anyway, I used to go to that every year. I used to ride that track. And up there at Hangtown, it's called Prairie City. They have a drag strip for dirt bikes.
For dirt bikes.
It's a dirt drag strip. And
That's
it's
neat.
Just a big, fat quarter-mile thing. It might not be a full quarter mile. But in my head, it looks like a quarter mile. Yeah. And we used to just go up there and race. And I learned how to hook up on the dirt. I would like jump back on the tire to get that quick.
Set the traction.
And then also not pull the front end all the way up. And so I did.
Over here in my head, like trying to work the bike myself. I'm like hearing you say it. I'm like,
well, it would be like probably like trying to launch that at the weight that I am now.
Yeah.
On the first day riding it.
Right. That's the caveat here. This is your first and only day on this bike.
Right. And so if you think 10 pounds is like 1 horsepower, right? So I'm 70 pounds more. I was like 150 then. So it would be like, if I'm on and that's not quite transferable to a bike, but like apparently that's what it feels like. And someone comment if those numbers are off. I've always heard that 10 pounds of weight is equivalent to about a horsepower when you're subtracting.
I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, I could be way off, but like this is something I heard. I didn't have Chat GPT back then.
Well, power to weight ratio is the thing of it all. How much power do you have and how much weight do you have to push? And so if you can bring that weight down, you inevitably gain more power to weight.
Right.
And how much of that translate? And I really think it has to do with your overall weight. So in a car, you're probably looking at like every 20 pounds per horsepower versus a bike might be like 10 because
and I think it's 10 pounds per one in a car. So in a bike, it might be like different.
Right.
But regardless, that Suzuki moved.
Yeah, I bet.
And it wasn't stock. It had a Two Brothers exhaust and a Power Commander. So it was like an early. I think it was called
injected.
I think it was called a Power Puck.
Okay.
I think that was what it was. A Power Puck. It was underneath there, and it said Power Vision.
Yeah.
And it was round.
And it gave more performance.
It did something.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Cameron and me and this Nissan hooked up, and this was like a 2-mile straightaway on Sunrise Boulevard.
Jeez.
And there's cops everywhere.
Yeah.
And we just like launched right there, and man, I don't really remember that much other than like the street lines like blurring together.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Do you remember if you won or not?
Oh, I won.
Oh, you did. Yeah, you said you took the car.
I took the car.
Just a little bit.
I took the car, and I thought I was going to smoke him because I had raced like an STI before that, and I like whooped it.
Yeah, of course.
But that 350Z was fast, man.
Yeah.
And it had like, you could see the turbos too. It was like pretty cool.
Look, yeah.
So yeah, he had them like cut out of the hood a little bit just to show you what he's got.
Right. Yeah. They're too big to fit. So
I'm going to cut the hood out.
Yeah. I'm sure it looks awesome, It
looked pretty cool. It looked also like rain is going to destroy that engine.
We call that natural cooling.
Right, man. I have an old truck, actually. I didn't drive here, that I love, and it has a hood scoop.
Mm-hmm.
And
an active hood scoop?
An actual old school cowl hood with the nostrils in it, and rain just flies in there. And the engine gets dirty.
Yeah.
And leaves get in there, and dust gets in there. I kind of wonder like why I haven't blocked it off.
Yeah.
Or I want to invent something that's like it's kind of like what you have on that bike, actually. The intake has like a little downspout where the water leaks out. So it's at least the stock one does. But who has a stock intake? But the stock intake has the air can come in with water, and the water comes down.
Right.
The air continues, which is smart. Engines don't like water.
Right.
Yeah.
They can handle it a little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my first street bike.
So you had to take the bike back. That wasn't your bike, right?
Oh yeah. This was totally his fault. But I took it back with like no clutch. And there's no way I could have burnt the clutch because I've been riding. I mean, I did wear the clutch when I was racing it, but there's no way I burnt out an entire clutch.
Yeah. Not in one day.
But it literally was like
wouldn't grab.
I mean, it wouldn't
engage.
Barely move.
Just enough to.
It was enough to
limp it.
limp it home at 30 miles an hour. And it started going out on the way to his house. So he was just
Perfect. Best time for it. Like,
he was pissed, man.
well, it's clutch backs aren't too bad,
Well, if you didn't,
but you don't know.
he's from the Bay Area. He was a city boy.
Oh, okay.
He was like, "What the hell is this?" You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
anyway.
So you
sorry.
got your first taste.
Yeah,
Did you end up getting yourself a street bike?
just like that one.
Just like that one.
And I had to keep it at a buddy's house.
Oh,
Yep, it was like that. You know the red, white, and blue Gixxer colors from back
yeah.
in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
I remember seeing those, the early Gixxers, early
Yeah.
2000s.
So I went, yeah, and that was. You know, it's funny. I didn't realize there's a whole culture that makes fun of Gixxer riders.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They're like the Mustang people.
Yep. Yep. Well,
But,
what you told me about your first ride on a Gixxer,
Yeah.
the first thought I had was Gixxer bro. Like this
For
guy's
sure.
the poster child for a Gixxer.
But let me ask an honest question. If you're going to buy any sort of rocket, let's call it, right? That is a different level. But if you're going to buy a 600 or a Gixxer 750, which is also known as one of the best bikes ever made, that's one of my all-time favorite bikes is the Gixxer 750. If you're going to buy one, what makes you more elite if you ride a CBR 1000 versus a ZX10 versus a GSXR 1000? Like, they're all from Japan.
Literally
they look very similar
nothing.
going 100 miles an hour not if you're trained, but like to the onlooker, they all look exactly the same.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Perception, something
Headlight?
to laugh at. Because there's guys that ride every sort of bike you can think of that do the same ridiculous nonsense that the Gixxer bro does, and it's just pinned on the Gixxer guys.
Is the Gixxer the most popular?
When I started into sport bikes,
Yeah.
people told me, get a Gixxer. They're like the Honda for motorcycles because they're so highly sold and they're widely available. Parts are available. They're like, you can get a lot of aftermarket stuff for them. So they and still are very popular.
Right. I also think it's one of the best looking bikes. I love the way they look. I love the headlight. I love the lines. In fact, in 06, they had 1 year in 06 where the Gixxer was like a lot faster than the others. 0 to 60, it was like 2.5 seconds or something.
So I like all bikes. I think
Same. Anything that's
vast
underneath you
majority
is my favorite bike.
of bikes look good to me. There's some that like that one back there, the 790, that I'm like, you look funky. You're a funky looking bike. But for the most part, like, I'm not biased. But Kawasaki had the ZX10 05, 06, and I thought that what they did with the body there was just beautiful.
Oh yeah, the Ninja.
Yeah, the Ninja, right?
Yeah, in fact, there was a time when I was a little kid, I used to call them all Ninja bikes.
Yeah, a lot of that's,
Ninja bikes.
That's not uncommon,
Yeah, and I was like, wow, I want a Ninja bike.
right?
Right, and then I realized I wanted a Gixxer bike.
But ninjas ride these.
Yeah, but like,
That's how I saw it in my
I almost
head.
bought a what did I have? I almost bought a whole bunch of bikes, but like a 959 RR, a 1000 RR Honda.
Mhm.
What else was I looking at? Yeah, just a couple of those. With the pipes coming out underneath, in the back. Those
Under the tail, the undertail.
those are screamers, man.
Yeah.
Screamers.
I thought that was pretty hot too.
Yeah, that's a screaming bike.
So, getting back to your story, I
Yeah.
feel like we kind of got off the tracks there,
Sure.
and that's totally cool. So you got your first bike just like that one, a Gixxer.
Yeah, for a short period of
blue and
time.
white?
And,
Okay.
I cut you off.
How long did you?
I had it for like 3 months, and I was just like, I'm gonna crash this thing. And back then, I was like, I don't know how to afford the gear.
Mm.
And you know what's interesting? It's like I had this like, don't buy that; it's a bad investment going in my head. But realistically, I feel if I would have just make more money so you can buy that, it would have learned to make more money for other things, which would have been better. Hindsight is so 2020. But yeah, I sold it quickly. I was just like, I'm going to get in trouble. And I couldn't keep my hand out of it. Like my hand
so
weighed like
hard at that
75
age.
pounds.
At that age, it's like, it's like it wants to on its own.
Oh yeah. And I was riding wheelies on it. And like,
Right.
I was like, all it's going to take is me to go up a little too high. And I didn't understand like the balance point. So they were all missile wheelies, which is even worse.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't trying to find the balance point like on a dirt bike, because a dirt bike doesn't weigh that much. I've got a chest protector, you know, I've got all the pads and everything. And like, yeah, I can fall off into the dirt and like, and then I'm okay.
Right.
But like if I fell off and the car's behind me, like I'm not trying to find that. I didn't even think about the idea of like going to a yard or a warehouse or something. Like
Somewhere.
a lot, like an industrial lot,
safer.
the lot.
Right. There's always one in town.
Right, but the idea of it did not even cross my mind.
Yeah, it wouldn't have. At that age, I wouldn't have had a clue.
So
I even thought about it.
Yeah. Anyway.
So you sold that, and where did you pick back up on motorcycles, or were you still riding dirt bikes too?
Oh, always rode dirt bikes.
Okay, cool.
Always had a dirt bike. Always rode dirt bikes. Always was borrowing dirt bikes. Also borrowing bikes too. Let's see. From that, moved to Malibu, and my friend and I like had shared this motorcycle. It was a Gixxer 750.
Yeah.
That's why. And there's a road called Mulholland, which is the snake. And back then it wasn't as popular. There were still a lot of cars on it. Now it's like there's highway patrols all over it, and there's you know hundreds of cars parked up like a big car show. But back then. We used to ride, and so like either he'd have my car, I'd have the bike, you know, or vice versa or whatever. But we bought this thing and just kind of shared it. And
that's cool.
It was a 99 carbureted 750 with an '04 fairing on it. And it was matte black, you know, just like a cheap, fun little Canyon cruiser.
Yeah.
Not cruiser at all. It was a Canyon ripper.
Yeah.
Great power to weight ratio, minus the carbureted part. But like, dude, it was tuned really well. And I've been building motors since I was like 13. So I've screwed up enough to learn how to do them correctly, hopefully.
Yeah. Right.
This is not a wood Adirondack chair, but I'm knocking on it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
man. So I went from the 1000 to the 750, and then realized I need to get another 750, like a newer one. And like kept coming up to the time of getting it and then not. And then I went a completely different route. I bought a Honda Shadow 750. Which it looks like it was a Shadow Spirit, and it was an 03 maybe 04. And I just began taking things off of it and chopping it up, and like bobbing it out. And I was like, this is actually really fun. The downsides were it had 4 gears and a 750, not a fun 750, like a 750 Honda V twin. Have you ever ridden one?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's very underwhelming.
Yeah. I imagine
However,
it's sort of like that thing in its original.
It's slower than that. And Harleys have more torque. So this has less torque. I mean, it was just like, it was a little dog. I did a couple things to it, which I thought were like game changers. Michelin Commander 2s. The best tires ever made.
Like
I don't know about that.
Like putting on some fast shoes, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And you know what? Like once I broke those in, that thing handled amazing. I was like, so for what it is, like it actually rode really well. And I would ride that thing all over the place just because it was more comfortable than the Rockets. And during this time too, I was still borrowing lots of bikes.
Okay.
So I've ridden all sorts of. I've probably ridden like 20 motorcycles at this time. Some of them
Very
in links.
well versed. You had quite an experience, regardless of the bikes you owned.
Yeah.
Because of all the bikes in your life.
I missed one too. So I had constantly been riding my buddies. I don't remember if it was a WR. Is it WR 450? Does that ring a bell?
That would be a dirt bike.
Yamaha. Yeah. So I used to ride one of those, like significantly, and we had trails around our neighborhood that were like lesser traveled. I used to rip those trails.
Yeah.
And that thing was a beast.
Mm-hmm.
It was a friend's dad's. It was a new stock bike with like upgraded suspension, but it had a stock exhaust, so it wasn't really that loud.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Still had a lot of power.
It had a lot of power when you're 160 pounds or whatever, and I would just rip that thing. I remember, actually, this is funny. One time, so I just took it from him and went riding. He didn't tighten the gas cap all the way, and I was like, let me just try this hill climb. And I dumped the throttle and went straight up this steep hill. And it felt like there was fire ants biting my balls.
Oh.
And there was gasoline all over that area right there. I had to put the bike down and like take my pants off.
Yikes.
And like there's like houses around too, but I'm like freaking out because it's
Yeah.
burning so bad down there.
It was probably sitting on there a minute and you didn't realize it. And then
Yeah, I mean, because I was under adrenaline. That hill was really, it was probably like it felt like at least a 45-degree, and it was like maybe 100 feet long. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm not letting off.
Right.
I'm just going to go.
You got to keep it moving.
If I can't make it, I have to tilt the bike over and then like somehow get it back down the hill.
Mm-hmm. How'd
Yeah,
that work out?
I made it up the hill.
Made it up the hill and then pulled your pants off.
Yeah, just pulled the pants off. What else? Oh man, I had a buddy had a Boulevard 1800 that I used to ride. It was his dad's, and I used to take that thing out and ride it around town. Yeah. That was a cool bike because it was more mellow than a Harley. I felt I didn't know it was more mellow, but it was more mellow. But it had some legit like torque.
Yeah, it's a big engine.
Big engine. Yeah, and it was like this real wild styling, you know.
Had you found your way into some gear by then?
No, I still just had a helmet.
Oh man,
I still just had a helmet. What else? Yeah, just a lot. We had the Thruxton 900, which I'd kept at my place a lot.
Yeah,
that was a Triumph. It had Öhlins shocks on it, front and rear, and it had good tires and some kind of exhaust, but like nothing else. It was like I want it to handle good and sound good and look like a cafe bike.
Yeah,
it had a really nice seat. It was a hipster bike.
It totally is.
The total hipster
it
bike.
It is.
It wanted to be a crotch rocket, but it was not nearly as fast.
Yeah.
It was barely faster than my Shadow 750.
Those bikes are kind of a like minimal power bike.
It's for sure.
The power just isn't there for any sort of performance. It's like, this is what you need just to be able to ride on the road.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the main thing was it had 5 gears, I believe. I think it might have had 6, but it had at least 5 gears. And so like you could go 80, 90 or 100 and not be like winding it out. Like my Shadow would top out at 100 in 4th gear.
Screaming, yeah.
And it had no tack.
Oh.
So I didn't even know, like I did it all by sound.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll give Honda the credit. Like I've done long rides on that bike with 4 gears.
Yeah.
And like I would you ever put your feet on the rear pegs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'd put my feet on the rear pegs and I'd lay on the gas tank. And like I would even do this thing where I'd put one arm on the gas tank, I'd lay on it, and then I'd ride like this.
Yeah.
And I'd ride for hours like that.
I've done that on the sport bikes. Because the head, and put your arm across the gas tank and try to rest it while you're doing this. But you're looking up here because that's the road, because you're laid down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did any of your siblings ride? You mentioned you had some sisters, I think, earlier.
I have 6 sisters and 4 brothers.
Oh, okay. Wow. That's a big family.
None of them ride. None of them.
Really?
None of them. I was always like getting banged up.
Oh.
Like, dude, I've broken so many bones. It's crazy.
Oh.
Like collarbone, hip,
So you're the nut
lower
in the family.
back, both hands multiple times. Wait, so one time I crashed the 250 on the street
Mm-hmm.
and broke this wrist and this hand. So I had two casts. I actually have a picture. I'll send it to you if you want to flash it.
Yeah. I'll put it in the video.
It's like me and the kids with a sling and a cast, two casts.
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, hey.
That sucks.
And I'm in real estate. I actually sold 3 houses with no hands, and it was like my joke.
that wasn't as a kid. That was like
No, that was like 3 years ago.
Whoa, man. That's so funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
that's great. That's great. But that happens. Like accidents happen. It doesn't matter how old you are.
You know what's interesting? So the throttle stuck. It was on the 250R.
Okay.
The throttle stuck. It's carbureted. It's an 05. And it was like the spring on there. And it just wide open and just took me off of it.
Oh.
I was like, it has enough power for that? Apparently.
Wide open, yeah. I guess.
Yeah. So
I ride my 790. I was doing a river crossing. This was, I don't know, 3 months ago. Not quite a river, more of a creek. But I'm just a nut sometimes. And so the guy that was riding in front of me, I tried to hit the water real hard to splash him. And so I did, but I wasn't paying attention that there was like a concrete like pathway across the river.
oh, it was like algae?
Well, no, it wasn't that. My problem wasn't that. It was that I wasn't on that path because he was, and I was like coming up to his side and I was just off of that path. So as I'm crossing this river, I'm seeing the concrete come up and it's off to the right. And I'm just like in all these real soft rocks. And I tried to go over, but I knew what was going to happen. And I just, as soon as I, came up, because the tire was like this far lower in the rocks and the curbs up here with all that concrete, and it just dumped me right over and I went sliding.
Does that bike have an auto shut off?
No, it doesn't.
Like for crashing in the water?
No. It's known to blow the fan fuse when you hit water like that. And I've expected that to happen, but I've never had the issue.
I feel like that would be a good thing to add to a bike like that, because Brock did this ride with Deer Run. You ever done any of those? Okay, so those guys are great. Dave Gibson founded Deer Run, which is a ministry, and him and Brock are good friends. And Dave does like these 6,000-mile rides, right? Like hella long. Some of them with his wife on the back.
Jeez.
Right, and Dave's like in his late 60s.
Wow.
Like still ripping hard.
I need to interview this guy.
I'm not at that level yet because I can't take that much time off.
Yeah.
But I would. Like he'll ride all through the Rockies and all over the place. Yeah. And he has a cool mixture of bikes. He makes fun of my Harleys, but I feel like a lot of guys that I'll get there next. I set them up. A lot of guys that ride other bikes and are staunchly opposed to Harleys will ride mine and they'll be like, okay, this thing's actually really sick. I could see why you'd ride this.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Which I'll get there in a minute. But we're on this ride and Brock came back and I was like, how was it? And he's like, oh man, it was great. We had several water crossing accidents, but other than that, and usually what I think is it's people that don't understand that when the water runs across concrete for a long time, you need to have either your feet down or be very straight on.
Very straight, totally neutral on the throttle, almost no
Right.
throttle. It is some high risk business there.
Yeah.
And you got to baby it. I usually look for the most well taken path. Because,
Oh, for sure.
The
least
algae's
algae.
worn out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've done loads of water crossings, loads of slick stuff, and I think that was the only one I legitimately went down in. And but I was thinking about that because the wrist thing. You said you broke your wrist. I hit my right wrist. Look, you can see there's still some skin missing where
Oh yeah.
it
Hit it hard.
No, that was a different one. It ripped the glove pretty good, and my wrist was sore for like a couple weeks. But the gloves I was wearing had like a wraparound wrist brace, and I was just thinking like if I didn't have that, my wrist probably would have been in some serious trouble because it was already really sore, and I had that extra bracing.
Right.
And it's part of why I like those gloves is because I knew after wearing them once, I was like, wow, this wrist support is intense. So anyways.
That is. I've always said that like when rollerblading or skateboarding, wrist guards are the most important piece of gear because you instinctively fall on your hands.
Yeah.
And like even like knee pads are second. But like if you just had wrist guards, like I call them like bulletproof wrists, those things that go over your
big
wrist.
metal plate.
Yeah. Man, I used to rollerblade, skateboard, and BMX bike every day. I did at least 2 of those, if not all 3, every day. We built a half pipe in the backyard. We would take the BMX bikes, we would launch off one side, and then we would launch up and off the half pipe into like the grass. And we'd launch 4 or 5 feet in the air and then land. You know what I mean? And like, man, I just remember like the cranks and the bearing and the cranks must have been taking a beating on those things. But yeah, wrist guards was like my secret. I know you'd crash and I could confidently fall on my hands and slide a little bit. And as long as I didn't pinch my fingers underneath it, I was good to go. So that was kind of legit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Accidents happen. Doesn't matter how old you are. And I find myself doing more, I guess more off-road, getting a little bit wild because I know it's not as dangerous. But I have a lot more fun with the riding in the dirt.
Now, do you wear gear in off-road? Yeah, I
got
saw
3 sets of gear. One's for off-road adventure riding, one's for kind of Harley cruising, and then the other one's sport bike.
Yeah, nice.
And then I've got a full leather hung up in the closet in there for if I ever go to a track. I wore it once. I took the boost out.
Was it hot?
Full leather. It was nice and cool out, and it wasn't bad at all.
But why'd you only wear it once? Just maneuverability of your body?
I wanted to wear it and know what it feels like on the bike, and it's just not comfortable.
Right.
And so like this gear, like I've got the Marrakesh pants, which have like level 1 knee and hip armor in it. So it's real flexible. It's real comfortable. And most of the time when I go out riding, I'm not like going to go just to like go hit the curves. If I do, then I might step my gear up and wear that suit.
Is it like CE2 or 3?
So level 2 is kind of the top, and then level 1 is
the top.
Like what's in that pants, where it's thinner, it's more flexible, it's more comfortable, but you still get impact protection.
Yeah, I've got several jackets. Love them. I've 2 or 3 with no pads, but they're really thick. They're specific motorcycle jackets, and they're so comfy, but they don't have pads. Yeah. But the whole thing is like a pad. I dumped a bike wearing one with no pads.
Okay.
And I did from here up, I did extremely well in it. Yeah. And I was like, it's one of Harley's, it's called Buffalo flannel. Okay. And it's like a super thick flannel. So it gives you like a ton of skin protection. Yeah. And I could tell you rolling around and stuff like with the bike, it did incredibly well. But it didn't have any pads. I have other ones. I've got full leather with the CE2. I thought there was a 3, but I have 2. It's got all the different stuff, the back all the way down. And then I have what is that brand that starts with the C? Corbeau, maybe? It's like Corbeau, maybe.
I'm not familiar with the brand.
And it doesn't matter. It's a brand that makes jackets, and I've seen them around. But it's more of a race jacket. Okay. And it's Kevlar. And then it's got all the pads in it, and it zips up real tight, Yep. And I look like a stormtrooper.
That's funny.
It looks funny on the Harley.
Yeah.
But it's a great jacket.
Yeah.
I wear that. And then I've got a Buffalo leather jacket, like from Buffalo, that's from like 1979.
Like Buffalo leather or a jacket that's from Buffalo?
It's a jacket that's like a buffalo, like
Okay.
a really thick leather jacket.
Okay.
It's a motorcycle jacket.
I've never
You know
seen
that like
one.
trendy look that like hipsters wear? I'm roasting hipsters today. But you know that like the cross zipper and like they're never riding a motorcycle with it. It's got the big
The fur
collar.
around the collar thing.
It doesn't have the bomber fur, but
The
it's
bomber, yeah.
it's
That's
but
what I
it's
was
like
thinking.
one of the ones where the zipper comes across it
Mhm.
and they have the belt attached.
Mhm.
So I have an actual one of those,
Oh wow,
like from way back in the day. It used to be black, now
that's
it's
neat.
brown because all the paint's fallen off the leather.
Oh,
It looks more like a suede now, but I
Yeah.
mean it's thick.
Hmm.
And I was like, with this rip, I've like yanked on it real hard. It's still solid, so it's pretty cool.
I've had a handful of accidents on a variety of sport bikes, mostly sport bikes.
Go figure.
I mean, I've taken the KTM down a bunch, but the bike's still together, and I'm still together. Like nothing catastrophic.
Yeah.
And in all my accidents, my biggest injury was where I didn't have any protection, which was like I was just wearing riding like regular jeans, not riding pants of any
Right,
sort.
dude.
And my knees just got so scarred up, and the road rash would stop right where my boots started. Like I knew my boots were doing like saving me some skin. And after I
The boots are so
totaled my Hayabusa, my first gen Hayabusa, and my knee was just white and meaty. And I was like, I gotta do something about these legs. This is bad. So I've got pants now.
dude, I'll tell you, and the riding pants with like zippers and like vents
Yeah.
are legit.
Oh yeah.
And like they're more comfortable, but you have to spend the money. I think I'm gonna go buy some good pants when I leave here.
They are expensive. All the riding gear is just like mind-blowing expensive.
Right. So let's talk about helmets. Now
Yeah.
wait, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be asking you the questions.
No, it's open. It's all good.
I want to ask him some questions. So what is your favorite helmet setup?
I've had a handful of HJC helmets.
Okay.
They fit well. They're well priced. They're good helmets.
Okay.
I started to try other things, and I tried this Airframe Pro, this green one, on the wall
Okay.
from
That's a
Icon.
cool
I
helmet.
was not impressed. It flows air well, but the padding in it is, if you like to go on a long ride, the padding doesn't have enough give to really let your head form into it. So
I
you get,
hear you.
like it squeezes my head. And I just put a new set of pads in it because my old ones were so ranked, like just nasty. And the new pads, like I put it on, I'm like, like the whole thing just like squeezing my head. And I'm like, that's not cool.
Let's talk about the one next to it.
The one next to it, the AGV. So that was me like stepping out into exploring high-end helmets because that one's got a really good reputation for its safety, mainly
Right.
safety.
Snell rated.
It's a very, like, apparently the safest helmet you can buy. And I bought it and I have been mind blown, just seriously impressed by it because of how it handles wind. Because I wear it when I'm riding my Hayabusa. So I'm usually going faster, heads in the wind for the most part, unless I tuck down. But it doesn't pull my head around like I've experienced with all my helmets in the past, where you're going too fast to mention, and you can feel the air just like sucking your head and your neck's just fighting with it. And that helmet is like so airstream. It feels like it weighs less, but I looked at the specs on it. I even put it on a scale, and it doesn't weigh a significant amount less than other helmets. It's like in that 3.5, I think just under that mark of weight. But the way it handles airflow is phenomenal.
Interesting.
And then the visor lock mechanism on it is impressive. I don't like the side visor locks because with higher speeds, if you check your mirror and you've got a visor lock on the left, you'll see the right side will cap open because you turned your head in the wind. This one has a visor lock directly in the middle of it. And it's very positive locking. on the AGV. So
Nice.
I really like that one. I've been very impressed with it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, took one look at it. I was like, where's the HJC fitting in here?
So the black one's a HJC, and there's a brand new HJC inside of that box.
So do you still like HJCs?
Yeah, I think that they're a great brand because, and that's kind of where we started into discussing the gears. Like price, gear is expensive, man.
But you can get an HJC for what, under 200?
I wouldn't say you can.
Under 300?
But I would put it around 300 to buy a nicer one. And
you'll get a nice helmet for that.
A good product. Yeah.
I could see that.
But that AGV is like a $700 helmet after tax.
For sure. For sure.
And that's...
Yeah,
it's hard to believe that.
I started with HJC, and I really liked it. And then I had an Icon. No, I had an Icon, then an HJC. The Icon, I didn't have anything to compare it against.
Yeah.
It was a matte black helmet, and the stickiness was starting to get sticky.
Oh.
The matte black was starting to be
starting to
matte sticker.
Past its usage.
It was past its prime, man. Yeah. But like I just didn't care that much. You know, it had character, which is really not what you want in a helmet. You don't want your helmet to have character. You want your helmet to be good.
Yeah, right.
And fresh. Had an HJC or two of them. Yeah, I liked them both. They were both upgrades over that Icon. Now, I'm not saying Icon's worse. I'm just saying the specific one that I had wasn't as good. And I didn't have nicer HJCs. I had like $200 ones maybe from Amazon. Then a buddy of mine gave me a Simpson Bandit.
Simpson Bandit helmet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a Harley wheelie guy helmet.
Huh.
But it looked like a helmet from the 70s. And Simpson helmets are nice, but they're super simple. So it didn't have anything real, like it wasn't like a real wild looking cool helmet.
Yeah.
It looked like a 70s race helmet with like the...
Is it like a 3/4 where it doesn't have the bottom, but it like comes down to the back of the neck?
Oh, it was a full face helmet, and it was awesome looking. It was one of the coolest looking helmets I've ever seen. It was like minimalist, and Simpson is like red and white, like Hell's Angels letter coloring. It was a badass helmet, and it was also like Snell rated. It was like $400, maybe $450.
Yeah.
So that was like my nicest helmet.
Okay.
It was a Bandit 2, I think is what it was. And now they have the Bandit 3, which has this kind of like lizard looking thing on the top of it. It's not really a lizard. It just looks like it's molded to look cooler, and I don't like the new look. This one looked... I remember this guy came up to me at a bar in Malibu, and he's like, hey, you know, he lives in Tennessee, in Franklin, of all places.
That's funny.
Right, this is before I moved here.
That's so funny.
And he was like, that helmet looks like one that I used to wear when I raced in the 70s.
Huh.
And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, Zach, can I see that? I was like,
yeah, check it out.
He was like, this thing is awesome. He's like, I didn't get one of these just to have.
Nostalgia.
Okay, man. Yeah. So that was like my nicest helmet.
Yeah.
And I went from that to a Bell, which is also like a nice helmet, but it was really simple. It was like a $400, $500 Bell helmet. It was a Bell Harley collaboration, and it had like the old school lines coming down the side of it, like the 70s. It had a big old visor that was magnetically attached. So this is not for going fast. It had 3 little air holes in the bottom, and then like ones across the top you couldn't close. You could close the bottom ones. That was it. And so it was just really simple.
Yeah.
And I still have it. I've been down on it. And it looks great still. I cleaned it all up. The helmet is not cursed, but I have this like picture of like Saint Michael like stabbing the devil, and I wanted an artist to put that on the helmet.
Yeah.
So I gave it to this one artist that totally could have done it. And like 5 months later or something, 4 months later, I was like, hey, can I get my helmet? He's like, and we were going to trade like photography for the art. He was like, man, you know, my art is just not, it's just worth more than that. And I was like, oh, no problem. But like, you've had my helmet for 4 months and you said you wanted to do that and you were excited about it. So like, where's my helmet?
Right.
And so he gave it back to me with nothing on it. So I'm like, okay, great.
At least you got your helmet back.
Then I gave it to someone else who's also a great artist. Like,
Okay.
hey, what would you charge for this?
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. I'd be happy to do it. I get it back like 2 months later. Like, hey, I really don't like. I started doing it and I screwed it up.
Huh.
So now it has like the Sharpie design on it that just looks terrible. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wash it off with alcohol.
Right.
I'm gonna put it in the case and just put it in the closet.
Interesting.
It's been sitting there ever since.
Interesting.
And now I found a Shoei RF 1200, and it's got the Italian flag colors on it, and it's like matte gray with like a cream color in the back. I have a transitions visor on it. I have
really?
a pin lock insert, and I've got
Wow.
upgraded speakers. Yeah, it's like easily 1,200 all in.
Yeah.
And this is my first bougie helmet, and it's amazing. In fact, if I would have rode here today, which I regret not, which I have to come back so we could do a bike walk.
We'll get it.
My charging system, I screwed it up. So that's a long story that I'll tell later. But that helmet, I will probably not ever not have a transitions visor again.
Really?
Yes. If you want to do one thing for yourself, I do not work for a visor company.
Yeah.
Buy yourself a transitions visor.
They're like 120 or so.
Easily. 200.
Oh, really?
But when you're riding in the daytime and you have all that sun coming through. Now, some helmets have a thing that comes down.
Internal. Yeah.
Yes. Then you don't need it. But even then, the look of a blacked out visor and the feel of having a tinted visor is amazing, if you ask me.
The look you can't beat. My alternative to that is I have prescription impact rated safety glasses that are transitionals.
Oh.
That I always wear inside.
And do you wear glasses anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a different story.
So that's my fix to it, because that you can transfer from helmet to helmet.
For
you
sure.
Put it anywhere.
For sure.
And they're impact rated. That it actually saved my nose right here.
Oh, nice.
You see the scarring there? That was, I don't know, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. And I took a face shield or windscreen, the front of the bike, through the helmet face shield and then into my glasses. And there was blood everywhere. And if I hadn't been wearing the safety rated glasses inside of my helmet, I would have had a huge split here and maybe lost my eyes.
Dang.
Like, it could have been seriously bad.
That was a big impact on your head.
It was pretty serious, yeah. The bike dropped down real far, and I was like locked onto those bars, and it dropped and it yanked me right into the, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, how'd that okay, wow.
So there's a lot of value in wearing those type of glasses.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you can get them transitionals, but it doesn't look nearly as cool as like your whole visor.
Well,
does.
I'm saying not only does it look cool, but it looks cool when you're looking out and everything's not so freaking bright. And you can see, like, one of the big things about me and riding motorcycles is, I'm preaching to the choir right now.
That's all right.
But is being connected to the environment around you.
Yeah.
Like, riding through a cold patch in atmospheric temperature.
Yes.
You feel it real quick. And it's like, I remember the first time I felt that, I was like, how is it so much colder there than there?
Yeah.
But it was like, whew, real
you
quick.
Start to learn all those
especially at
places.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
or
great.
like when you can feel there's moisture in the air.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's dew in the air and you can feel that patch of dew or whatever. No, but when I'm riding through like a backcountry road and I want to see everything there is to be seen, like, and there's sun blaring in the corner, transitions visor, man. And then it's like, if I'm out later, and sometimes, this happens, I would have the tinted visor on there.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but I really need to stay. My friends just got here, whatever.
Yeah. And then you ride in the dark and
It's
you can't
9
see squat.
p.m. or you are like, I'm going to take it up so I can see, and then you risk hitting bugs in your eyes.
Yep.
And like, dude, a bug can really screw
Road
you up.
debris,
Oh,
bugs.
yeah.
I mean, there's
you
all
can't
sorts of
ride behind
crud.
somebody with it open, or
Right.
if you do, like, you have to like squint down by your windshield and like watch.
Yep.
So it's just not safe.
Right.
So again, when it transitions, and then also having that pin lock. Have you ever tried one of those?
I have one. I haven't played with it. I haven't used it.
So Brock said the same thing.
Yeah.
He was like, I had this. It's brand new. I don't know how to put it in. It's intimidating looking even.
Oh, it's not that, but
Anyway, there's like a way to put it
in.
Yeah, so I put it in for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, also you can take it back out.
Yeah.
But the trick is washing it. You can't wash it like you can't spray it down the same as you do with like and scrub it with a rag, or it gets all scratched up.
Okay.
You have to take it out with warm soapy dishwater or dish soap, not dishwater. Greasy
Dirty dishwater. Yeah.
Greasy. There you go.
That's great.
Anyway.
Yeah, I gotcha. I actually, that's how I clean most of my glasses, is instead of using rags a lot. Like if I'm on the go, sure. But if I have access to a sink, I'll just stop and use some soap and water
For sure.
and just gently wash them, just rub it on there. And that way you can clean the whole thing without
And rinse it off and
leaving
then
oil
air
here and
dry it even.
Yep.
Yeah, for
I'd
sure.
Shake them a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because then it doesn't get all the streaks with the haze. And like a lot of people don't know that. They sell all these like special cleaners and stuff, but they all leave streaks.
Yeah.
And or you go,
And
That's
it's
the
all,
worst.
but you're spraying it and then you're scrubbing it. So there's still crud all over it.
right. You know
And
that.
that's where you get the micro scratches.
Oh yeah.
So that's what you were talking about.
Pin lock doesn't fog when you breathe on it.
Right. That's
And it's to
the
me,
idea.
it's a game changer. Like
Okay.
especially when it's colder out or
Particularly.
early in the morning.
yeah.
And you're like riding and you don't want to open your visor because it's freaking freezing. Like sometimes, there's been years of my life where I've ridden all year round. I've probably ridden all year round, like maybe 6 or 7 years. No, more than that. Oh gosh. In fact, there was a point in my life where I only had motorcycles, no car.
How long did that
Like
last?
2 years.
2 years.
So I rode year round. Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why Connor, he's like, yeah, this guy he rides a lot. Like I rode every day.
Yeah.
So I rode every day for a year at one point. Like
That's cool.
every single day, even if it was just like down the street.
Yeah.
And I remember getting the flu and thinking like, shit, this is going to ruin my streak if I don't go out today.
Yeah.
And so like, I have to keep going till February. And like, there was also another time where it was like, I don't know, 19 degrees. And this was in California, but that was cold for California. And like, I remember like the white knuckle. I was like, oh, that's what they're talking about when they say white knuckling. I had
cold.
2 pairs of gloves on,
Yeah.
2 hoodies and a leather jacket. I was like a stuffed sausage.
Looks like a Michelin man.
Oh, you
Yeah.
barely able to walk, hugging the gas tank
Yep.
like
Trying
this.
to get the warmth. To get it.
and-
Yeah. I know it. I've been there, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
So anyway,
I'd like to take a break because I got to take a leak really bad.
sure.
And then when we come back, get into talking about rides,
Oh,
where you've
sounds
been,
good.
and any places you'd like to go.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do that.
The next segment we're on.
We were discussing gear, which is totally cool because it's on the subject. But I wanted to shift gears and talk about places that actually kind of your current bikes, and then get into road trips you've done, like just most memorable road trip you've done, and then like any kind of bucket list destinations you might have.
Nice. So I am currently riding a 2018 Softail Fat Bob. It doesn't really look like a Fat Bob anymore.
Okay.
It's lifted almost 2 inches. It's got, what tires am I running right now? Pirelli Night Dragons. Not crazy about them. I've always loved the Metzler Cruise Techs.
Okay.
It really combines the feeling of a race tire like you'd have on the Buza with so the outsides are sticky and the middle of the tire is firm.
Oh, so it's a dual compound.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's a dual compound tire. Love those. Let's see. So it's got Fox shocks on it. The motor is, let's see, it's got an S&S 475 cam, which I put in, cam plate, internals, like all the works of internals, except for pistons. I've torn it down several times and just changed out different parts. My beautiful wife, Chelsea, was the one actually that kind of got me into that. We were looking at Harley parts catalogs, and she got me a Screaming Eagle Stage 2 power kit. It came with the instructions, and I was like, hell yeah.
That's the best, man.
It was amazing, And so like,
good.
It was so much fun, man. And that's how that started. And it was just like, wow, I could do that. Like, that's not really that bad. It was 12 hours of slow, like, piece by piece wrenching and, figuring stuff out. It's had a number of different exhausts on it. Right now I'm running a Fuel Moto 2-in-1 stainless with a competition baffle. I've got a Mustang step-up seat, which is really comfortable. It's got a gel insert. I've got 8-inch pullback risers with Pro Taper ATV bars that I've had powder coated like a crinkle matte black to match the Harley parts. It's got a Memphis shades fairing on it with a black visor. And then I've taken the oval headlight from the Fat Bob and I've turned it into a Baja Designs LP6. It's really cool bike, which you'll have a video of shortly.
We'll actually do a bike interview on that bike. The description will have the link to that video, and so there will be a full video on that bike. So right now you'll just see a picture of it, but if you'd like to see the full interview with that bike, check it out. It's down in the description or right here on the screen.
It's a fun bike, and it's got a lot of cool stuff on it. One thing that's really neat, and this is for you, Power Vision. This part of the video is sponsored by Power Vision, which he didn't know. Power Vision has been kind enough to send me a prize for this bike, okay? And it's called the Target Tune. Target Tune is like, I'm not going to mention any other brands, but other brands on steroids. And it is essentially the best form of auto-tune you can put on a bike. And here's how it works. You change out your 12 millimeter bungs for 18 millimeter ones in your pipe, which usually pro pipes have, like, race pipes pretty much all do. And you run wideband O2 sensors. Wideband O2 sensors take you out of what I'm going to butcher the name, but it's 14.7 air to fuel ratio. Okay. And they make it so you can tune into 13.1 or all over the place. Right. Oh. So with that said, you can load a tune from your computer onto your Target Tune, which is your Power Vision. It's a piggyback computer that basically expands your Power Vision. So I have the PV2B, I believe. It's the black one. And what this does for me is this actually gave me so I can tune now the hardest, combinations. And I can tune it to the way I ride. So it makes it so you can use Auto Tune Pro, and you can color all the squares in there green, which means you've got the AFR that you've set desired correctly. Then you can take this on your computer, and it has some really intuitive functions where you can kind of smooth it out a little bit, and then you can enable Target Tune, set it back on your bike. And here's why this is cool. It's cool because if I ride to Colorado where the elevation's different, I still get the same tune. So stay tuned for that.
That's great.
Thanks.
What brought you into riding that style of bike? Because earlier in your story, we were talking about dirt bikes, street bikes, and now you're on, you said a Fat Bob?
Yeah, I'm on like a punched out Harley machine.
Right. Well, I guess there was the Honda Rebel.
The Honda
right?
Shadow.
There you go.
Yeah,
Shadow.
should have. It might as well have been a Rebel. I think I could have ran faster than it. So I was riding that Honda Shadow and I was on PCH, and this dude pulled up next to me on an FXR, like a really, really hot FXR. It had like an S&S 111 motor on it and a Thunder header. And he just looked at me and I was like, oh crap, like this really, really cool machine is next to me. And this guy's like got a gray beard.
Yeah.
His girlfriend or his wife's on the back in like a bikini top. And I was like, whoa, just like I'm out. It's like the feeling of being outgunned. It's like I pulled up with a Derringer and this guy's pointing an M60 at me.
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay, that. And then I started looking at what they cost. And I was like, there's no way I could buy one of these.
Yeah.
Like that motor costs like 3 times as much as my bike. And so later, my friend, and listen to this, guys. So he's dating this girl that got the Harley in the divorce, which should be a red flag. If the divorced wife takes your motorcycle, she's not the girl you should be dating. I'm sorry if I just hurt someone's relationship.
That's like vindictive. Like
that is
I'm just out for your nuts.
I'm out for your nuts.
Yeah.
So he's dating this girl that was out for her ex's nut. Now maybe he deserved it, but dude, like that's vindictive.
That's bad.
So he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, my girlfriend's got this sick Harley. Like our neighbor rides, but he's too afraid to ride it. Like, could you go ride it because it needs to be ridden?"
Oh.
I'm like, yeah.
Right.
So it's not even like intimidating, but okay, I didn't know. It's like a stage 3, a big bore.
This thing's been worked on.
Heritage Softail Harley, and it's got a real nice seat, nice suspension. And I get on this thing, and I remember I took off, and I was like, this is what those old dudes know that I don't know. Okay. It was so smooth and it had just tons of torque.
Yeah.
I thought all Harleys had that much torque. I didn't know this one had been worked on as much.
Yeah.
But it was a twin cam. So now the new bikes have Milwaukee 8s, which have way more power. But I mean, this twin cam was punched out. And anyway, I got off this thing. And like I said, the first thing I said was those old guys, because I figured all Harley riders are like 60.
Yeah.
I was like, those old dudes know what's up. Like, that is what wisdom feels like. Like, it was like riding a couch with a big pair of balls down the street.
That's great.
Yeah, but it also, like, it stopped well, and it turned well, and it sounded incredible. And I was like, whoa. Like, it kind of ruined me a little bit.
And your whole life changed direction.
It changed directions, but I was like, I don't know if I want to get that kind of motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I was in California, so there was a lot of what's now called Dynabros. And but the Dynabros were more like club guys and like much more scary looking than your typical, preppy Dynabro with the Converse. These were like actually like the Voggles. I don't want to name a bunch of clubs on here because I don't want them to come after me. But yeah, you guys were scary looking and I was littler and I was like, whoa, like that's who rides that bike.
Yeah.
Anyway, I found a Lowrider S, like a 2016 with a Screaming Eagle 110, gold wheels. And I took a picture of it and I was like, one day I'm going to buy that bike. That thing's sick. It was like 16 grand used or something, right? I was like, that's a lot for a motorcycle that, I've been paying like 3 to 5 grand to buy back in the day for sport bikes. I mean, they're like, it's mind blowing how many sport bikes you can get for one nice like Ducati or Harley, or,
Right. Because, different brackets and price.
It's completely. So I started like my whole I'm getting into the Harley thing.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Great question. That was like so I rode that bike right before I moved here in 2016.
Okay.
But I still had a Honda Shadow. So I brought the Honda Shadow to Tennessee.
So about 10 years ago? 11 years ago?
No, it was like 9 years.
Okay.
But close to 10 years.
Okay.
Just not 10, it was 9.
Okay.
And man, I actually remember riding here with no helmet.
So you rode all the way.
No, I didn't ride all the way over here with no
Okay.
helmet.
Oh,
But I remember
you-
riding in Tennessee
Okay.
with no helmet.
Okay.
And it was like epic until I smiled and then a horsefly went in my mouth and popped.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it was like in there, and it like tasted like sour butter
Oh.
or something, dude. And it was just like something else. That had nothing to do with the Harley. But I had my sights set on one of those. Ever since that, it'd been stirring in the back of my head.
Okay.
So I sold my Honda Shadow, and I was figuring I was going to get something different. Then I bought a SUV, and I'm like almost coming up on, this is like 3 years almost bikeless at that time. When
Wow.
I got married, my wife and I were driving, and she was like, hey, did you want to go look at Harleys?
Just kind of out of the blue?
Flipped an illegal U-turn right there and went into the dealership.
Oh,
was
y'all were
like-
like passing a dealer.
We were
She's like,
passing
hey,
a dealer.
don't you want to? You're like, why? Yes, I do.
Columbia Harley Davidson. So I get in there and I'm looking around at all these bikes, and I met this big old dude named Steve, Harley Steve. He's a great guy. And he's like, you want a road glide or a street glide? Like, no questions.
Oh, he just knew. He
He was
pinned
just
you,
like,
huh?
which one do you want? And I was like, what? It's funny because like I would have totally loved either one of them, but especially a road glide.
Yeah.
Have you ridden a road glide?
No.
It's a great bike. I could see why so many people own them.
Mhm.
The fairing is built around, it's attached to the frame, and the bars are in the middle. They're nice and nimble.
Okay. Gotcha.
So the wind, like a street glide, the fairing is attached to,
the
like this.
yeah. It
But
would be
the Booza, the fairing is attached to the frame, and the bars are in the
right.
middle.
I got you.
Right. Like most street bikes are.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's just bigger fairing.
Mhm.
It's a comfortable bike. Anyway, I was like, no, I want something else. And I had that picture of that Lowrider S in my mind,
Mhm.
like the Screaming Eagle 110, the gold wheels.
Yeah.
And I was like, man. And he's like, well, why don't you finance one? And I'm thinking, like, I don't really want to finance one. I want to buy it. I don't have like the urge to spend, what is it? Dealer fee, tax, license, plus 16 grand or whatever I'm looking at. So I talked to him about numbers on some of these bikes, and we had great credit. So actually the payments were not that bad with like 5 grand, 6 grand down.
Okay.
And I was like, that's a little interesting. And
You're
so I listen, always leave the dealer. Sorry, salesman. Always leave the dealership.
Always leave the dealer.
Always leave the dealer.
Let your mind settle. And
Settle.
come back to reality.
I was in the car business twice. I've bought and sold over 1,000 vehicles. And I have been cracked over the head, and I have cracked people over the head. And now I just want everybody to win.
Mhm.
But when your emotions are high, especially dudes, we don't do well under emotion. Just
Oh, I know it.
especially like when you really want something. And
When I
it's
bought that
right
Busa,
there.
I was like just blind.
Did you buy that new?
I took a friend and I was like, look, man, I bought it used, but even so, I was like, look, I'm going to be so hyped over this bike. I need you to look at it and tell me what you see. Because I'm not going to be able to like calm my mind and pay attention to what I need to.
Oh yeah.
I was so hyped. So I got you.
I get it.
Yeah.
So in the corner of the Harley dealership, there was this Fat Bob.
Okay.
It'd never been on my radar. I kind of thought it looked a little goofy. I'll send you a picture of it, of us leaving the dealership with it. But after watching them on YouTube, I was watching Bikes and Beards.
Okay.
I was watching Rusty Butcher. I was watching, I don't know, several of these guys were like, dude, this Fat Bob is sick. I wanted to hate it as soon as I got on it, but it doesn't make sense. It's got a drag bar. It's got this goofy dual exhaust. It looks like a Mad Max bike, but it handles amazing. And like as soon as I heard it handles well, I was like,
Yeah.
really? It's got these like Dunlop. It looks like the tires look like those almost. They look like adventure tires.
Yeah.
It's got like these big chunky. I ditched them after I burnt through them. I never went back, but they do look kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I have driven it through fields with those tires, and
I've only heard
didn't
good
do that
things
bad.
about that bike.
The Fat Bob, dude, it's a sick bike.
It's very desirable, fun to ride.
It's super fun to ride.
Yeah.
So I was watching all these videos, and I'm like, nobody hates it. Like even like Yami Noob is this like YouTube channel.
I know him.
And he's like wanted to hate it. And he's like, hey, I actually really like this bike. It's got a lot of, it's fast.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of power. I mean, it's fast for what it is. It's
So did you figure out all that stuff yourself, or did the salesman get it into you?
no, he didn't get any of it into me.
No,
He
okay.
wanted me to buy the Road Glide or the Street Glide.
Okay.
And I didn't even tell him I was interested in the Fat Bob.
Oh, okay.
I just saw it at the corner of my eye when I was there, and I thought it's the new version of the Dyna, but it's a different looking thing.
Okay.
So like, what is this? Like, could it be cool? Not. And I went home and I watched incessantly.
Yeah.
Watched tons of YouTube videos on it, which because why not, right?
You learn about
And
it.
like people were raving about it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. It's not my Lowrider S, but it's cool. So that one they had at the dealership was a manager special or something, had 800 miles on it, and the sticker price was like $17.99, and then that one was like $16.5. And he was like, I can do it for, like, we negotiated, and he's like, I could do it for 15. And I was like, I can do it for 15 out the door.
Yeah.
Right.
Pulled one of his.
Yeah, and he was like, no way.
Oh.
And then I was like, no, that's what I'm willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like literally 15 out the door, cash. And he was like, no, dude. He was like, I can't even do that. He's like, if you finance it, I can probably do closer to that. And I was like, why? He's like, well, because they'll make money on the back end. Noted.
Yeah.
So, which I also knew better, but I'm still asking the why questions.
Okay.
I agreed to pay $15,002 out the door finally, after like 30 minutes of going back and forth.
So
and
did you like finance it with $5 down, and
I
then
put
just
$5,000 down. The
Okay.
payments were like $150 a month or something for 60 months. I don't know. It was $170 a month. I mean, it was low.
Yeah.
And then so I intended on paying that off, but also I was like, that's cheap, man. Like that's like free money almost, you know, it's a low interest rate. Like, I don't know. It was great. So anyway,
I got you.
I didn't even test drive it. Now that I think about it,
Oh.
like I just wanted the bike. I knew it was going to be what I wanted. I didn't care about a warranty or anything like that, because I was like, I am going to town on this thing, so like it'll be void.
Yeah.
So I rode it. Now it was like weird, like at first, because I hadn't been on a Harley, let alone that kind of thing, in a while. So like I had to get used to it. But once I got used to it, like in a couple days, that bike was sick, like really sick. And I remember, like, you know, then you start changing stuff. I had like, I didn't tell the salesman this, but like I knew I was going to buy the bike, like so much so that I bought a fairing before I bought the bike.
Huh.
I was like, I really want a fairing on it because I don't want all the wind in my face.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to ride on the interstates, you know, comfortably.
Right.
So I bought a fairing with a, I think like a 13-inch or an 11-inch windscreen on it. So smaller, but like enough to shoot the air right up here, and then my helmet can handle the rest.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then, I didn't know this when I bought it, but it already had S&S exhaust on it.
Okay.
And so, but they were just slip-ons, but they were still, it was like $500 muffler, and it sounded great. I mean, for what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounded like a great sewing machine. Anyway, so I committed to buying the bike. took a picture with my wife, which I'll send you.
Oh, quick.
And man, and that bike was cool. I was like, wow, this thing is really neat. That's like a brand new Harley.
Yeah. So that was 2020,
Yeah.
and you told me earlier you had a kid, at least one. So you probably got a couple.
We had one in the belly, and then I have two stepdaughters, which are basically, I treat them like my kids. I've had them
Okay.
since they were 3 and 5.
Cool.
Yeah.
So kids were present.
So kids were present.
So what caused that 3-year hiatus? That 3 years of no bike? What was?
I think it was just, I don't necessarily want to get another rocket right now. Okay, so I skipped this part in the earlier end of the story, but like I crashed the Gixxer 750 twice in the same day.
Oh.
And like I smacked this ankle and then I smacked that ankle.
Ouch.
And it, yeah, ouch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, man, if I stick to something like this, like I'll be safer, which actually, well, I'll tell you later, was not the case.
I was gonna ask. Because as soon as you said that, I was like, I've been there. Because I started trying to ride that like I was riding that, and I ride that like I rode all the other bikes. It's like it doesn't matter the bike you get on. Your way of riding follows.
Yeah, and I'll get there because then I had another bike too, which I still have the Fat Bob, but I had another bike in between then. So then I bought a bagger later.
Okay.
And it was like a stage 4 big bore with Andrews cams, like punched out Road King.
Did you consider any of the Indian bikes?
Not a chance.
Okay.
Sorry, Tim, if you're watching this. I like looked at them.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Indian makes a great product.
Okay.
I've ridden them, but it just doesn't have. Do you know what a Chevy Avalanche looks like?
Oh yeah.
Look, it's a great truck, but to me, an Indian looks like a Chevy Avalanche next to a Silverado.
Oh.
So it just doesn't quite like, dude. I would give Indian more props if their bikes, except for the Scout Bobber, that's actually a really cool bike. And you know what? Their Challenger is a really cool bike. But you can't look yourself in the eye and say, it doesn't look like it was copying Harley's design. I'm just saying.
No,
Even the Batwing copied Harley design. The Challenger copied the Road Glide design. Now, guess what? I know you can fight me on the facts. In many cases, they're faster. They're a little cheaper. They've got some cooler features in some ways. They ride really well. I've ridden a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. And I have no complaints with the way they ride. My buddy's got like a 111. No, maybe it's like a 118 Indian. And that thing, it rips.
Yeah.
I mean, it totally rips. And it sounds good. Mm-hmm. And it looks good. And it's comfy. And it seems well made. But I fell in love with Harley Davidson in the way that it's like a nostalgic work of art. And even their new bikes, like even when you take the seat off, it looks nice underneath the seat. Can't say the same for a lot of bikes. They could look like a nightmare underneath there.
Yeah, okay.
You take the pieces off, the fairing off, right? Underneath there, the headlight looks nice on the Harley. Like it's thought through. They're easy to work on. Very easy to work on. Like intuitively easy to work on. I would give it that. There's something about the pushrod V-twin. It's got this really cool, torquey feeling to it.
Yeah.
And you don't get that with the Indian. The Indian does feel great.
Yeah.
But even then, like the engine on the Harley is just, I don't know. To me, it's just, that's what I like.
Okay.
And one of my best friends rides an Indian and loves it. And you know what? I love that bike.
Right.
For him.
Right.
For him. It doesn't toot my horn.
Okay.
So yeah, so I got a Road King with a whole bunch of goodies on it.
So have you taken any serious road trips on any of your bikes?
Great question. I've ridden up and down the coast of California a bunch of times.
Okay.
I've ridden much of Route 66. I've ridden here, which is like Middle Tennessee to Tail of the Dragon, and then the tail of the dragon
Mhm.
after riding there.
Yeah.
Which was,
I've made a day trip over there, I think twice.
yeah. I
Just
mean,
do a day trip
it's a
because
jaunt.
yeah.
It's a jaunt, especially on the way back. Um, Actually, on that trip is where I learned I was going to buy a transitions visor
Oh yeah.
because on the way back, it got later than I thought, and I'm riding down 40 with a black visor, and I'm exhausted. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I'm like, my eyes are adjusted, and I'm like, really not having that good of a time. And it's getting cold, and you
Mm.
feel like the Mountain Dew, like literally, is like coming in. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
wearing like 2 or 3 pairs of pants. I
Sick.
didn't have the right gear. The gear was at home, literally.
Oh.
I like left a lot of it at home because I
Mm.
wasn't really like thinking
Oh.
straight. Anyway, so yeah, there is a couple rides that I want to do. You'd asked that earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a map for $20 called the Tennessee Dirt Devil, and it's Hickman County roads. Do you know of this?
I've ridden it many times.
I've ridden the roads without the map.
Okay.
I would like to buy the map. Do you have the
The
map?
map is less than what is out there.
Really?
There's far more out there than what's on that map.
This guy knows.
Yeah, I've made a video on it actually.
Okay.
Adventure finding with Duke, because I
Link
went
the
out there.
video, please.
I'll put it. I'll send it to you, and I'll even drop it in the description.
Okay.
But there's different routes and roads out there. A lot of it.
Now I wouldn't take that on the Harley. I
I
actually.
really hope not. I didn't figure.
I'm in the market sooner or later for something maybe like the one behind me.
Okay.
I've looked at different stuff. I was this close to buying an Africa Twin.
I was looking at that when I bought the 790. I was on the fence, but it was like $2,000 more, and I was already pushing my budget. And I was like, "There's no way I can't swallow another two."
Yeah. I mean, KTM makes a mean product.
Yeah.
And also KTM is hurting right now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they're giving stuff away.
Mm.
So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Yeah. And
Well,
then
I'd
there's
be
that
happy
also
to
that Yamaha
go ride it with
700.
The T7, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Tenere.
Those are sick.
They're really good.
That's
as
like a big dirt bike.
That's what people describe them as. They're just an oversized dirt bike. Long trips, they're not the comfortable bike
No,
to
that'd be
be on.
horrible.
But if you want to go do a day of riding out down some dirt roads and stuff, plenty of guys that do it and love it.
Right.
on
Yeah,
the
because that
T7s.
is way more nimble than, an Africa Twin. An Africa Twin is, or like there's also that, what is it, the Duval?
Duval?
Is that what it's
don't know.
called? It's a Ducati. What's it called? I'm like
I'm trying to remember.
butchering the names.
Ducati's Desert X. They have a Desert X.
Yeah, they got some cool Africa Twin competitor.
Okay.
It's a really nice bike. I saw a couple of them at different dealerships.
Yeah.
They've been traded in. I also wondered why they've been traded in. But then again, people do trade stuff just because they buy the wrong bike
All the time.
all the time.
Yep. Well, if you step into that, you've ridden dirt a lot when you were younger.
I've ridden more street now than dirt, but I used to. There was many years into riding street bikes that I had ridden so much more dirt than street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Cool. I'll go out there with you and ride around and be a nut.
Yeah, that's what I want to do is I want to get my wife and the kids something fun they can travel in, like a Sprinter with 4-wheel drive or something. And then we could put the bike on the back. They could do some camping, play in the water. I could go for a ride and come back or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe even have a big backpack. Like I can book it out to the store and come back with some goodies.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just like, because that's like the puzzle piece. It's like, how do you fit hey, I want to go on a ride in with the family life?
Right.
And right now it's just like, I just kind of go, but like, I don't do long rides that often. I mean, like seldom. My long rides might be a day trip, I might ride like north of Nashville somewhere and go around some roads and then hit some back roads on the way back. I do not have a computer on my bike, like a GPS.
Okay.
So I love to just go by the wind, and wherever I feel like it's taking me, I find tons of back roads that way.
Yeah.
Um, I have a motorcycle GPS I've got, what is it? It's like FOD Sports or something, Chinese. But
Okay.
it's got, I've loaded a bunch of back road maps on it from different Reddit forums.
Yeah.
Like,
GPX files, different.
yes, I've loaded a bunch of those, and it has all these different dirt roads that connect. And even some of them are like not connecting, but they're like, there's a path through it. So they've loaded that on there.
Huh.
It's pretty cool.
That's funny. Out riding around Dirt Devil area, there's roads that are on the map, and these are standard Google Map. Like it shows a road, and you go, and it's like there ain't no road there. And so sometimes I'm I've become the pioneer explorer of these not a road places, and it's fun. It's fun.
Do you carry CO2 and a patch kit?
I carry a small air compressor. It is a mini air compressor, not CO2 particularly. And,
well, that's fine.
And I carry a plug kit because
that's
my
what
tires are tubeless.
Right.
Some of the adventure bikes, I mean, even this Harley is tubed. So you'd want a patch kit for that.
Yeah, I have tubeless on my bike.
Yeah.
And I prefer tubeless. And I've patched street tires and like ran them for thousands of miles.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like no problem. And all the shops are like, I can't.
Right. Same, man.
Get out of here, dude.
People are like, oh, it's got a hole. It's trash. I'm like, dude, I just rode like 2,000 miles on a plug tire.
Oh,
before it was trash. Like it
for sure.
It'll live, man.
So I bought. I paid $900 for 2 tires, right? Because they get expensive.
Yeah.
I got some good tires. The tax and install was stupid. It was like $900 after tax.
Jeez.
Crusty grunt.
Oh, okay.
Dave, love you, buddy. You were expensive, and I still love you. Was happy to pay Dave. Not happy to pay that amount.
Yeah.
If it would have been like a $700 amount, I'd feel like, okay, $350 a tire installed ish. But dude, just tires are expensive.
Yeah.
Especially like bigger tires. So anyway, I just paid like $900 for 2 tires. And I get to the gas station. There's a huge nail, like that long. It's going through the tire and out the sidewall.
No way.
I had like 50 miles on this tire. And I was like, what the heck, dude? I was so mad.
Oh, I bet.
And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, it's literally punching out the sidewall. So I got home and I just yanked it out. Nothing happened. I'm spraying it. It didn't puncture it all the way.
No way.
I was like, yes. Driving it like a week later, there's a screw straight through the middle, totally puncturing it.
Yeah.
Sprayed it with Simple Green. It's like leaking air.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm plugging this.
Right.
So I did like with the razor, and I cut it all the way down. So it's real nice. And I did like I have this trick where like the end of the needle for the plug. And by the way, like, I don't know if you saw my fingers, but some of my riding decisions are influenced by how the availability of different levers.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because like, okay, so I was so sad when I discovered there's a brand called Two Finger that makes a Harley lever for wheelies. And it changes the geometry so it's way easier to pull. But it sticks out further. So like I bought one, got it home thinking like this is finally someone spoke to my heart. Like I can't even reach it. Anyway, so I just have to use like stock which brand? Roland Sands, I think, makes a lever that has a deeper dish into it that comes back, and I can actually grab them real easy.
Okay.
But I'll go through tons of levers. Dirt bikes, I love ASV levers. That's the best in my opinion.
Okay.
I also like that they fold back in the inevitable.
Yeah. Going down. Yeah.
Right. Those are, in my opinion, are the best. I rock those because they're adjustable and I can bring them almost all the way in.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, then I have to change clutch
Yeah, where it engages.
because I need it to engage all the way at the end.
Right.
I need it to be just real touchy.
Yep.
I don't want it to be slipping while I'm riding.
Yeah.
That's a factor in everything too. Like which grips am I going to use? Like those grips on your
Too big.
way too big.
Yep.
Now I do actually have the smallest sized air pillow grips that I just put on my bike and haven't even tested yet from Avon.
Yeah.
And
same manufacturer as those actually.
yeah, they have another one that's memory foam, and they're really comfy. But I have the skinniest ones. But what they do is they dampen the vibrations.
Oh yeah.
The air grips dampen it a lot. So I haven't tried them yet, but I've read about them, and they're on my bike right now. And then my charging system died. So like I've ridden it up the driveway and back and said, "Oh crap! Why is this not charging?" I used an impact when I shouldn't have used an impact.
Oh man,
I was just cheating. I was like, I'm just gonna impact it.
Been there, there.
And I broke the magnet on the rotor.
Oh man.
So I had to find another rotor. I found they don't really break unless you do something stupid. But I talked to a Harley tech that works for my dad now, and he's like, "Oh yeah, here's what you do." And like I have chased the rabbit hole of like what could possibly happen. I thought it was a volt regulator, which is really easy, but it's actually the rotor inside. So I have to pull the primary cover off, take the clutch pack and the primary, slide it out, and then there's all these little springs in there, and then there's the rotor.
It's funny. I had a bike about a year ago. Well, the stator went out.
Yeah.
And we did everything trying to diagnose what it was that wouldn't let the bike start, and eventually found it. But it was after a lot of digging, and it was like I did not want to open that unless I absolutely had. And then once you open it, you saw it as like, well, there's your problem.
It's actually it's not even hard. It's just like it's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's what it is. It's just a bitch.
Yeah.
And it's like there's but you know what is good, because if it forces you to open something, like bikes have chains and tensioners in their motors, like most bikes do. They have some sort of a cam, whether it's overhead like that or whether it's lower, it's got a tensioner of some sort, and it's got a piece that the chain rubs against.
Yep.
And the piece could cost $12 or $20.
Yeah.
And while you're down there, change the nylon piece.
Yeah.
And so like that's how I look at it. I'm like, okay, while I'm down here, it's an opportunity for me to do a maintenance thing that would suck to do just for that piece. But while I'm here doing this piece, like this is totally worth it.
Knock it out. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yep. Been there many times.
Right.
I get it.
Also been there and not done it, and she'd be like, "Oh, it's not that hard to do this. I'll just do it later."
Yeah.
But it's out of sight, out of mind. So you have to like kind of. So plans.
Yeah. Do you have plans for a different bike? Is there a different bike?
Yeah,
you
I was
have
gonna say
in mind,
my
or?
bike is the only real thing I could do to it is I could go to like a big bore kit, and I have almost bought one a number of times.
How big? What kind of change are you looking at?
Like 129 cc or CI, sorry,
Cubic inch. Yeah.
which is huge. It's like a 2100 or
what?
something.
You're like a one.
I'm a 107.
Oh,
So the
07.
107
Okay.
is the snappier, and the 114 is the torquier. They're like, I think 9 horsepower, 9 or maybe 7 horsepower and 9 torque difference between the two.
Okay.
Mine though is I'm like right at the 125 horse, 125 torque in the current state. So it's a lot of torque.
So you're still on the fence though about the big bore kit?
Because I just don't know if that would eat everything else up. Like, do I need a recluse clutch?
Yeah.
Do I need a
What else
primary? The clutch is $1,000 for that whole thing, and then the primary is another $500. Or like the Dark Horse one is like, I don't know, 1,000 some change. So that's like $2,500 on stuff that I'm not going to see or feel really, except for when I engage.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot of work. You did a top end on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to pull all that out of there. And then it's like, am I just going to do that, or then am I going to put a cam in that can actually support that?
I see where you're going, and I kind
And
of
then do I want to do the valve springs and the valves?
right. There's all the
And
other,
like, how much lift am I going to do? Because if I do more lift, then I have to do this. Yeah. Or am I just going to ride the bike and have fun and get another bike? Am I going to try to build this bike into another bike, or am I just going to get something else?
bike. Yeah.
And that bike's not going to go anywhere. It's just like, I mean, it's got 30 something thousand miles on it. You know, it does get ridden.
What would you consider if you were moving to a different bike?
I wouldn't move necessarily,
Okay.
but that bike would stay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of in the air.
You mentioned earlier like an adventure style bike.
That'll probably be the next bike for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I looked at an Africa Twin. I looked at a bunch of them, and I was really interested in one of those. Still am, but also used to be. You know, that T700
Okay.
Yamaha, the big dirt bike.
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting bike. Man, I've seen them on Facebook Marketplace for
if you bring
$7 or
your,
$8 grand.
If you bring your bike over here and we shoot the bike interview, you can ride that. I wouldn't suggest it today because of the heat, but I got a challenge for you.
Challenge.
I'm gonna do a video on
Okay.
this. It's 30 days of barrel pushing.
Barrel pushing.
So there's a white 30-gallon barrel right over there behind the Harley. You might have noticed it earlier. No? Little white drum.
Okay.
At these adventure bike rallies, a barrel push is a challenge, that everybody can do. And the idea is to use your front wheel and push the barrel across X amount of feet. It's like 20 or 25 feet or something. So I'm going to practice this for like 30 days, like 30 minutes for every day for 30 days to try to get better. But if right now it's like blazing hot outside. So if you want to come back next weekend or a week or hell after
Barrel.
like 2 days.
Is this like super slow?
It's slow. It's real slow.
Yeah, like clutching it.
Yeah. It's work. Oh, my setup and your.
It would probably work.
You can still try.
I was saying,
But my
I can
point is
usually
you can get-
just hook my thumb around the bars
Okay.
and do that.
You can get some seat time on that and really feel it.
Okay.
That bike carries its weight really low. It's unique, and the power isn't too much different from what you're going to get in a T7, and it's worth examining. It's worth taking it and putting a few minutes on it.
It's worth examining. I'm scared. No, I'm actually excited. That sounds fun. There was also the idea of just getting a dirt bike, like the 500 KTM,
Yeah.
and the street package,
Yeah.
and then literally having a dirt bike.
Yeah. Well, more like dual sport, so you can
It's- yeah.
street ride it, but they're so much lighter, much more dirt
But
bike.
it's just not fun on the interstate.
Not at all. No, those dual sports
Scary.
they're
I mean,
so light that they're not.
right.
not
I rode
highway
my
bikes.
250R on the freeway in California one time, which is not cool.
And that was it. You're like, don't do this again.
I mean, it was a rush,
Okay.
you know, but like there's no speedometer.
Oh, yeah,
So
there's that.
I'm just going to pin it and see where I can go with it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I'm going 50, 60, 70, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it goes that much faster than that, but I mean, I was keeping up with the cars. I was right there.
So I got an interesting question.
Yeah.
This is a little bit different. So are you doing anything off the bike that you think might contribute to your riding abilities or riding skills?
Oh, 100%. Workouts, balance. I do a lot of like I wrecked that Road King that I was talking about earlier.
Okay.
I tumbled with it. I was wearing
Jeez.
I was wearing boots. I was wearing an awesome jacket and a helmet and sweatpants. And so where do you think I got injured?
On your knees, your legs.
On my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I took like a tree branch in the right side of my butt cheek.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you could say I took it in the ass.
I didn't say it. You said
I said it. I've heard it 100 times, man. Yeah, dude, you took it in the ass. I'm like,
That's
yeah,
funny.
Whatever. Yeah, and I got lucky.
Yeah.
So anyway, I took it on the right side.
sure.
It was like it was like when the bush hog comes by, they cut like a fresh tree, so there's like a dagger sticking out of the
Oh, I
ground,
see.
and it just punched it.
Hmm.
And then I broke like my lower back, like my tailbone.
Damn.
Yeah, but and then I crashed. I was laying there, and I was like in the fire ant hill, and so they're like biting me all over the place, and I was
dang.
like, no, I got to get up, and I like got up, and dude, this is like when I started believing like God, it's got my back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This guy pulls up, spins his car, not spins, but it looked like he did. Parks on crossing both lanes. Did not care. Announced himself. All I could hear was like retired United States Army medic. I've got the ambulance on the way. Not a single car will be passing here while you're on the ground. Like literally blocked the whole thing
That is
off.
awesome.
I was like, thank you. He's like, you should not be standing up. You're bleeding heavily. And I was like, there's these fire ants.
Right.
I'm like taking my jacket off. I was like, can you get my helmet off me? I was like a little dazed.
Yeah.
I came up over a turn that I didn't know, and it had like a downhill a little bit and then a right turn.
Okay.
And I just froze, and I had new tires, and I had old shocks, and I had this big old motor, and I hit the rear brake and just started sliding. And I was like, oh man. And you know what? In hindsight, if I were to do that again, I would have dumped the bike all the way down and sat on it. I would have just.
It's funny how
that's
quick
what
it
I would have done.
happens, though.
Yeah, but I was like wanting to save the bike. Nope, not saving it next time. My insurance gave me way more than I spent on the bike. So I was like, well, that was easy. Get good insurance. I'll just sit on the damn thing and
right.
and then jump off of it and take some road rash. And I had enough gear for that too. That's the thing. Like I could have been just fine, like maybe a couple bruises.
Yeah.
The bike would have been trashed. Great. Probably would have been less, but no, I rode it like into the ditch and then we flipped a bunch of times.
Yeah,
like,
you said you were flipping, and I was like, oh man,
we were tumbling together.
Yeah, that's what you
Yeah,
said.
dude. And like that, I just remember the feeling. Like anyway, so then when I got back in the car, even to drive, not that same day, I went to the hospital, but when I did get back on a bike or in a car, like turns were like freaking me out, especially downhill turns.
Yeah, I'm
like,
with you.
Like downhill turn. So you know what I actually had to do was I had to get on my fat bob, and I had to go over the same turn with with speed.
That's it, man.
And the fat bob, dude, like I can steer it with my knees. You know, like I don't even have to really put a lot of effort into it. I came up the hill and I could just push it with my one knee, or I can just throw this knee out and just whoop right around it.
Yeah.
And so I did that a few times until like I got over it.
That's awesome.
Like, okay, that's what it takes. But yeah, unseen downhill right turn, no bueno.
So I think there's like two classes of. You could divide it in many classes, but regarding accidents and how people ride after that, I see it a lot where you've got the guy like yourself, or even like myself, where we say, okay, something happened here. My mind isn't what it used to be. Let me go fix this. I got to face the fear here. And the other side of that is the guys that buy the bike, do all the mods, drop it once, and run from it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
And it's a very defining characteristic. The through and through riders tend to fall towards like, no, like I'm gonna go conquer this and get my head back. And there's a lot of power in that.
Yeah,
outside of riding even. But I feel like I'm getting derailed with like.
No, the psychology is like people call it throttle therapy. They call it wind therapy.
Yeah.
I have learned not to ride when I'm in a bad mood to get in a good mood. I used to ride in a bad mood. Do you have any like limitations on subject content on here? Or, like keep it pretty family friendly?
Not
you know
really.
what?
I hadn't encountered it.
I'm not saying the F word, but I will say I used to do drugs and ride my bike.
Yeah.
I used to drink tequila and ride my bike. And kids, it's not a good idea. And adults, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. I don't mix the two.
I used to take 4 or 5 shots of tequila and
Jeez.
jump on my bike and lane split.
Jeez.
And you know what? Like, I was so used to doing it, like, whew, things would come and I still had quick reflexes. My friends, not so much. I've been to the funerals.
Yeah.
And I've seen the things happen, and like just even wrong place, wrong time. But yeah, I used to do that. I don't know why, man. It was like I went through this dark phase. And I would go out to the bar on my motorcycle.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of people that do.
Yeah, a lot. I come back lit.
Oh yeah.
Like a Christmas tree.
I was just at a weeknight bike show, just like a get together in a parking lot. And when I got there, it was cool. And 2 hours later, people are stumbling around the parking lot. They're all on bikes. And I was just like,
right.
boom, like what is going on here? Like why are so many? And I think there's a place to be an advocate for not doing that. So I appreciate you putting that in there.
It's not okay. And you know what? A lot of you guys watching this, these are my opinions. They're not his opinions. I used to be a total stoner. And I was a functional stoner. I still dressed nice. I worked out. I had a ripped 6-pack. Like, I didn't look like that was what I was doing during the day. But like, dude, I would wake up, eat, sleep, and breathe smoking weed.
Yeah.
And like, my reflexes are so much better than those days. And those days, I was half the age I am now. I should have had the reflexes. Mm-hmm. And I was muffling them myself, medicating.
Yeah.
And it's just like the crash. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to deal with the thing in front of me, so I ran from it. Oh. And I would ride my bike like that. Dude, and I had all these, I think I did it. I forgot them all. But like, I would think that I had all these incredible ideas and thoughts while I'm riding my bike, like smoking a joint. And then one day I grabbed a tape recorder and I wanted to make some ideas because I would always forget all these ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I started recording myself. And then I listened back. Stupid. I was like, this is it. This is what I thought was like the golden pinnacle of thought. Right. I was like, I'm channeling all this brilliance. No, dude, I sounded so dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, I started realizing that like I don't need to supplement the experience. And in fact, going more to like a purist stand, like literally even not listening to, like one of my helmets has no speakers or anything in it. Mm-hmm. Actually, not one of them, but one of them specifically doesn't.
Okay.
Several of them don't, but one of them specifically doesn't. And I like just the engine sound and the wind and whatever. Like whatever's around me. Like I'm here to experience and be present. The other one has speakers because I work a lot and I do need to take calls. I take calls on the Harley. Yeah. And sometimes people are like, are you riding a motorcycle? And I'm like, yeah. Whoa. And they're like,
you hear that?
What? How does it sound so good? And I'm like,
technology.
I got a good microphone.
Right.
I got a dead cat on it.
Oh.
You know,
right
inside there. I have a Cardo, they're good series. I forget. I had a Senna, a couple Sennas before that. But yeah, I have a Cardo with, I had the JBLs, but now I have, which I'll send you the link. I bought some $50 speakers, that are aluminum and they're like mounted solid and firm into like this harder, Velcro into the ear channels in the helmet. And the bass, like most of the time when you're in a helmet system, like you lose your low end.
Yeah.
This one has like some oomph. And I'm like, okay, this is legit. So anyway, I have one, and that's in that Shoei. So I have one setup where it's like I can listen to music, and that's fun. Another setup where I can listen to the throttle being pulled.
Yeah.
And the air coming out the pipes, or the pipe. I guess it's a 2-into-1. Yeah. So I don't know why I got into that tangent, but I used to ride really intoxicated frequently. And I thought that like I was like this warrior, like experiencing some sort of life. And then I realized I was just playing Russian roulette.
Yeah. I'm very happy for you that you found that you figured that out for yourself.
Me too. You know, it's funny because like it sounds so obvious.
It does. When you say it out loud, you're like, that's what
It's-
everybody's been telling me.
But like it sounds so obvious, but I can go to a bar full of motorcycles right now.
You could. Yep.
Like,
Yep.
and that's just the bar. Like
that's reality. And they got some growing to do.
yeah, but I mean that's not just motorcycles. There's more cars than motorcycles. There's people driving cars drunk all the time.
That's true
So,
too, yeah.
Anyway, and I used to be one of them.
So from all that, did you start doing stuff to improve your abilities?
Yes. Great question. So I started by watching this guy out of New York that was he's got a YouTube channel and he was a motor officer for like 30 years.
Okay.
And as counterintuitive as it sounds, actually to me it sounds very intuitive, I decided to take it all the way down to like low miles per hour. Can I do a U-turn in like one stall?
Yeah.
Because if I can, I have significant control over the bike. I can do it in 2 stalls and easily in 3 stalls at speed.
Yeah.
But can I take a really tight U-turn without dumping my bike? And I don't have a crash bar on it. So in hindsight, I probably should have just put a crash bar and had full confidence and then just taken it off when I was done. You know, that they dropped those road Kings and street glides, or no, electric glides, the police models.
Okay.
Those Harleys are set up for low speed U-turns really fast, and they have a torque package on them, so it's like 0 to 100 is pretty quick.
Oh.
And it's got like this really wild acceleration ability for like in the city while having all that gear. The BMW has a really wide mid-range and upper range, and so for like freeway driving in California, catching people, they're superior. But for like jumping out in the middle of stuff, that Harley really does it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I started watching this class, and he was teaching people, and I was just like soaking it up, how to ride at low speeds and how to handle your bike. I got really good at that, and I started just going to the parking lot and just practicing figure eights and
phenomenal
and stuff like that. And I did take a rider safety course like 100 years ago.
Okay.
And, you know, learn some of those. Then I started watching, now you can, but when you have a bike like the Buza where your feet are way back, and then you have a bike like mid controls like your Harley, or mine has like between mid and forward controls. So you're actually standing kind of like, they call it in the pocket, the wheelie guys do.
Okay.
It's not standing, you're sitting in the pocket. So my feet are not going to be all the way back.
Right. And they're also not way out in front of you.
And when so how you would turn, like there's a way of like pushing your knee out, throwing a knee, but also using your foot and pushing back on that peg.
Yes.
That doesn't work when your foot's out here.
Oh.
So you can throw the knee. You can also take this knee and you can push the tank.
Yeah.
There's 2 schools of thought that I've learned both of them. One is you're actually turning the handlebar the opposite way. You're leaning and turning the opposite way. The other is you're kind of like turning the bar a little bit, but you are using this knee. So they both work. I think it's this knee. Like now that I'm not, it's so muscle memory now, you know, that I don't think about it. But I do tend to throw knees a lot when I ride. I did learn from this gentleman on Mulholland. Back in the day, he would ride and he would either keep up with or beat Gixxer 600s, ZX6Rs on like a Harley FXR. And he'd be scraping it. You see sparks coming out where he's hitting. But he was so fast. And like, I can only imagine what he could do on one of those bikes.
Yeah.
But like, what is he doing? So the way he was riding, his butt would move off the seat and he would throw a knee, just like the guys on like the MotoGP circuits. So I got used to doing that, like moving my butt over, like not, I have a seat that now I can move on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd move my lower half. And so I practiced that over and over and over and
Yeah.
over and over. Also learning better brake control, setting my rear brake to where it's not too touchy.
Mm-hmm.
Like my other bike was too touchy.
Right. And you end up locking it up all the time.
I'd lock it up.
Yeah.
So I played with my pedal to where it's in the right spot. And then the front brake, I have Brembos, like they stop.
Yeah.
So I just got them nice and balanced to where I really know what I'm doing. But that's what I've pretty much done.
So
it's like intentional riding.
Intentionally looking into what it takes to improve and then going out and just spending a little bit of time.
Dude, over and over and over. The same turn, and
Yeah.
I would just add 1 mile an hour, 2 miles an hour. And do it. And then once I get to the threshold, I'd like lock that into my memory. If I'm focused all in, I can do 46 miles an hour around this hair turn or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just remember those. And then like, oh, another turn's coming up. It's just like that turn. I could do 46 max. So
Right.
I'd take it down to like 39 or something. And I'd get super analytical like that.
Huh.
And that's on like one bike. Now there's obviously other bikes you could do it differently.
And each bike handles a little bit differently, but it's a matter of getting used to what you're riding and applying what you know works with that bike. Like what works on that bike, I shouldn't be doing in the dirt on that bike.
Right.
And what I do in the dirt on that bike, some of it translates to this. And
For
they all kind of, have their similarities, but each one kind of needs its own practice.
Yeah.
Because they respond differently.
Connor put like knobbies on his Sportster.
He did, yeah.
Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be kind of fun. There's this guy here. He moved to Columbia, Rusty Butcher. He's got a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And he has a whole bunch of Sportsters that he's racing at Loretta Lynn's, like in the dirt on jumps.
Wow.
And they're sick. He took a Pan America?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And he chopped it up and made it look really cool and put like a dirt bike fender on it instead of what was on there. And so I got to tell you, if I had a bigger budget, which I may, for an adventure bike, after seeing what he did to that bike, it's sexy. Yeah. Like I thought that bike was goofy looking, not this one. This one is sleek and mean.
Yeah.
And I also watched, there's a guy that he's a BMW factory rider. And so he's like, my friends talked me into reviewing this stupid Harley. I'm just telling you straight up, like I am going to beat the shit out of this thing. I want to hate this bike. So I am going into this very negative. I really don't even want to be doing this. I feel like this is going to be a ride where I just missed my BMW. And with that said, here's your freaking Pan America.
Yeah.
So he gets on it and he's like, okay, I love this bike. There's nothing on this I can hate. Harley has obviously done their homework. He was like everything from the suspension adjustments to you can tune the computer for different like torque, horsepower, all the different zones for riding. I'm butchering all those. You guys with Pan Americas know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this guy, when he got off of it, he was like, this thing is so fun. I don't know why. My BMW is better in some ways. This is better in some ways. Yeah. And it has a character to it. And he was like, I'm still handing it back. And I don't see myself buying one. I'm a BMW rider through and through. But if you didn't have either one, this would not upset you.
Yeah.
He was like, and coming from me, that means a lot.
The only thing I've heard about the Pan America is that it is way too heavy to be taking out into the dirt. Like a lot of larger BMWs.
A lot of them are like that. The big, what is the GS 1250? That's a heavy bike too. Yeah. And so like, it's an adventure bike, but that's for like dirt roads. Like
not dirt riding, but dirt roads.
There's a big difference between like riding a dirt road and you don't really want to be like you can ride that on a dirt road.
I did. It was a very smooth, very straight, nice, easy dirt road. I spent about 3 miles on it. And I was just taking it real easy.
You're like, I'm hoping I don't break stuff.
Yeah, that bike's giving me so much hell that.
I get it, but like I said, it'd be a sick build. Like it's of an era that had so much character.
Yeah.
That it's like if you got rid of it, you'd instantly miss it.
So there is we're towards the end here, really just going on as far as the interview goes. But there's an idea I have that is in my future, and now I'm announcing it, so I got to have some conviction for it.
Oh, he's putting it into the universe.
I want to do a custom bike build.
You should.
Hear me out, though. There's more to it. It's going to be a memorial bike for fallen riders.
Even cooler.
Not necessarily that they died on their bike, but for all that have lived to be riders and have passed.
Wow. So even like a veteran that like had been riding at home, was deployed, never came back.
Yep. He was a rider. The memorial will be for riders, and that's not limited to just because you died on a bike. It's everybody who was a rider and lived and has passed. And
cool.
So it's going to be a memorial bike, but then I'm going to have saddlebags on it with journals, and I'm going to do a tour with the bike to raise money.
This is already awesome.
For a nonprofit that supports either riders that pass or even injured riders. I was actually just watching a doodle on a motorcycle yesterday. She was working with a nonprofit to help her because she was in a real bad accident. She's another YouTuber. And then as part of it, all those journals are going to be for the people that come out for the ride to write in their fallen riders. And those journals will stay with that bike.
That's cool.
And I feel
I bet you there's a somebody, not to cut you off, but I bet you there's somebody that hand makes journals.
Yeah.
Like leather.
Yeah.
You know, you tie them.
Yeah.
That would either donate some or like you could buy some from to support his cause.
Yeah.
That's like got a story.
Yeah.
Like that.
I was considering doing that with this bike because it is a bike.
You need a 5-speed or a 6-speed on it.
But it's not a bike I care for. To keep, like for me, I'm big, it's smaller.
Oh yeah,
it's a 4-speed.
And how far would you ride?
Right, this thing's got a 50-mile range. It's not the bike. I don't think this is the bike that's going to be that bike.
That's not going to be a. There's guys that have done 500,000 miles on the Sportster.
Sure,
that are stoked to tell you about it.
Yeah,
they're probably 5'8",
right,
or 5'6",
right.
And you know, I'm sure there's someone watching this. And this is not against you. I am happy for you that you love the Sportster because it's a sick bike that is probably taller than you. I just don't know how you fit on it, and that's okay.
I feel cramped on it. I run the gas tank out, and I'm like, that's enough time for me.
For sure. I feel like there's some amount of decision making for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how far would you ride? Because once you creep into that 500-mile range, like, you know.
Well, I didn't know if I want to do a tour on the bike or just like take it from place to trailer it. So if I was to trailer it, that would be...
That would change everything.
Yeah. And so...
And what color would you paint it? Would you do like Destroyer Gray?
No.
Would you do like Army Green?
I've got 2 family members that passed that were riders.
Okay.
Both of them were females. And I want to do the bike up just like they would have.
Okay.
Which is not... So it's not like I would actually be consulting my other family like, hey, what would she have put here? What would, you know... And the memorial part is going to be more like having like engraved plaques that are riveted into like the fender and maybe even the paint scheme.
Cool.
But as far as colors go, I'm thinking something purple and sparkly, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not about me.
I mean, I get it. But you know what, though? There's a lot of cool purple and sparkly bikes out there.
There's plenty, yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Nice to meet you, and I like your bikes. I'll take you up on the barrel pushing. That sounds fun.
It's supposed to cool off in like 2 days.
Yeah, I'm like, what does that look like? That sounds fun. All right.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. I had an awesome interview with Mike. I hope you enjoyed his stories as much as I did. I just can't say enough. This has been a phenomenal interview. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Live free, ride hard. And I'll see y'all on the next one.